fellas, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another sort of informal thing, where I just kind of speak my mind and whatnot. Last video, didn't do fantastic. I recognize that not a ton of people are all that interested in my thoughts on a game that's, I recognize that a game that old isn't really of huge public interest, and my thoughts on anything aren't of huge public interest, so that's that. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about like the channel, where I'm at personally, and give you guys something to watch, fall asleep to, or eat your breakfast to, whatever you're doing. Greetings from me to you. Anyway, so those of you that don't know, I go to school specifically for psychology. Not really going to go into too much more detail than that for personal reasons, but semester started back up recently and I'm pretty busy with that. So I haven't had a ton of time to plan out videos, or script out videos at least, that's for sure. Either way though, I feel obligated to get something out there. I don't want this channel to just go dead and just be another one of those. It'd be like starting a YouTube channels, and then it just dies out immediately, and it's like, oh, that's surprising. You can't take the heat. I feel like I could take the heat. I just kind of I'm in a tough spot at this very second. Anyway, I've just been busy with school and stuff like that, social and whatnot. I've been busy getting rejected by jobs and whatnot, looking for some side employment along with my studies. That's been cool too. Just got rejected from an interview. Feels pretty good. So also the other thing that's keeping me busy is some other artistic aspirations I have. Anyway, I've been trying to juggle all of these ideas I have, and not all of them are for YouTube, but YouTube definitely feels like the one that's most, it requires the least amount of like pushing myself to do, because I don't know, music is so much pressure, and short stories are fun, but I don't know, I'm always afraid I've like lost it or something. Not that like I have like critically acclaimed short stories, but I'm pretty proud of what I've written so far, at least. I'm sure you could dig them up if you wanted to, but anyone here is here for that. But that's been keeping me busy, but that's not to say I haven't been playing games. I've been trying new games and beating old games all the same this month, and hell, I even picked up Baldur's Gate 3 for full price. And I have to say, at the top of many people's Game of the Year list, I didn't really know what to expect. I've never played a CRPG before. I've only played one informal game of Dungeons and Dragons in my life, and that was years ago. So I didn't really know what to expect. And at first I was like, wow, like I have no idea what people are seeing in this. I had some fun with the character creator. I noticed there was a lot of depth, just with different statistics, different abilities, just different character traits. And that was pretty exciting for me initially. But, once I started to get into combat and I was just getting my ass kicked seemingly by chance, I was like, you know what? Maybe I just wasted $70 and I disagree with everyone on the internet. But, for some reason, even after I rage closed the application after like my 6th consecutive miss, just because it's all by chance. You say attack and sometimes the attacks just miss, no matter what the percentage is. And, I'm bad at quick saving too, so I have to start pretty hefty chunk of the game over if I do go down. And it seems like the enemies were all just so much better than me. I'm not used to this style of turn-based gameplay really, but for some reason it just pulled me back in. It kept pulling me back in, no matter how much I'm like, this game is not for me. Like I like action games where I'm in control of all the action, but whatever. It just kept sucking me back in. The characters are so well written, the voice acting's so well done, and there's just something about it. The sense of adventure is there, so I'm not going to stop playing it. But good lord, I hear it's an extremely long game, and I wonder if I'll beat it in my lifetime. I really do. We'll see. But either way, I've been playing that. I have also I've also just beaten a few games that have been on the back burner for a little while. I just beat the Resident Evil 4 remake on normal difficulty, like an absolute animal. And that was interesting. That was my first time playing Resident Evil 4. So that, it's a highly acclaimed game. Many people's best game of all time, from what I hear. Fun fact, it was initially a GameCube exclusive, for those of you that didn't know, but it eventually made its way to PS2. Timed exclusivity deal, it doesn't matter. But just beat that on PS5, and I did really enjoy it. It did take me a long time to pick through, though. Just because, when I beat chapters in games, I was like, this is a perfect time for a break, and then I could take, up to a month off, so I picked away at it. Was pretty satisfied overall with the product. I don't know. If I had to just give it a number off the top of my head, I'd say it's like an 8.5. It's a very solid game. I also just finally completed Ghost of Tsushima, which I've been working on for years now, just picking away at it. And I remember I think there's 3 acts, and I beat the second act a full year ago, and I'm like, this is a perfect time to take a break. And of course, on next-gen consoles, hard drive space is so limited that you're just I'll delete it until I want it again. So it was deleted for a solid year, and I finally went back and beat that, which felt good to just get that done. But that game is excellent overall. I'm really satisfied with that game. Sucker Punch Studios makes some of my favorite playing games, or they have in the past at least. I remember Infamous Second Son really scratched an itch I had that I didn't really know I had. So that was a big game changer for me when that game released on PS4. My first platinum trophy, fun fact. But beat Ghost of Tsushima, great game, great combat, great open world, and great story, I'll be honest. Most stories rub off on me when I take breaks from games and I forget what the hell's going on. I knew exactly what was going on when I jumped back in, so it's pretty straightforward, but it's effective. I've also just beaten Quake 2 for the first time. I know my dad used to play Quake when I was really young, and I didn't really remember watching him, but it's just he hasn't played a game since, so I just wanted to see what he saw. Beat Quake 2 on easy difficulty because, again, I'm an animal, and that was really interesting. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. They just remade it for PS5, and I think it's serviceable. There's nothing wrong with the remake per se. Some of the gameplay's a little dated, I'll be honest. I do love my high movement, old school shooters, but just the shooting and the enemy health didn't feel quite right. Enemies felt a little too spongy. It might be that I'm playing on console, I'm not sure, but either way, I did enjoy that, and I beat that recently. My friend and I have been playing Remnant 2, but only together, and he's a busy man, so it doesn't come about very much, maybe weekly, maybe every other week, but we sit down for a session. Really enjoying Remnant 2. Not sure if I'd enjoy it alone, though, so I would keep that in mind if you're considering a purchase. I feel like it would play more like a Souls-like if I was playing it alone. But co-op, it's like a fun, challenging game. I don't know. Remnant 2 is a solid game so far. I'm not crazy far in it, but been enjoying that. I've also just been platinuming a few games that I've been really close to getting the platinum trophy on. I believe the game's called Devastator. It's like a $5 game, but it's like one of those, your pupils consume your whole eyes as you just get invested in the stupid twin stick arcade thing. But I was sweating my ass off just getting that final achievement of an S rank. Whatever, that was fine. That didn't take me very long. I did Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, and felt good to finally get those platinums out of the way. I played the hell out of those games. Tome, it's that photo game, for those of you that know, TOEM. That was a PlayStation Plus free game of the month at one point. Really enjoyed that. Great PlayStation 5 game. Pretty easy platinum. I also went back and finally did Astro's Playroom, which I just heard was an easy one, and I remembered enjoying it when the console launched. And oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It's truly a pleasure to play. I would recommend anyone with a PS5 re-downloads that free game if they didn't give it a shot, and gives it a shot. It's actually really, really great. It highlights the DualSense controller really well. Finally finished the South Park Fractured But Whole game. Finally did that. I was just putting it off for so long. And, now I'm just kind of chipping away platinum-wise at Sackboy's Big Adventure. It's a platformer, and Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe I'll platinum it someday. Again, it's off my hard drive because space, but I'm planning on doing that at some point. And then there's games I'm excited to try, but I'm just far too broke to buy right now, such as Mortal Kombat 1. I was really looking forward to that one. 70 bones is just a little too steep for me at this point in my life, and that is what it is. I don't know, watching people play it just makes me want to play it. It looks really fun, but I feel that way about fighting games, and then I pick them up, and sometimes the learning curve is just too much for me, but I do really enjoy fighting games, especially when I have a competitor that pushes me to get better. So there's no way I'm buying this game unless I have somebody that cares about it in my life. Either way, Assassin's Creed Mirage just came out. I've had my eyes on it. I played a lot of the old school ones back in the day, and I think it might scratch an itch for me. It's just there's so many games coming out this year. I just can't factor that in. Like 7 out of 10s just aren't going to cut it in 2023. It's pretty wild. It looks like a 7 to me, at least. Alan Wake 2 is coming out really soon. It looks like a perfect Halloween game that I'm not going to be able to afford. Cool, I played the first one, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed collecting coffee thermoses. The second one looks crazy. I really like Remedy's games. They make some really interesting titles. And finally, Spider-Man 2 comes out this month too, which, of course, I plan on playing the hell out of when I can. If I was to buy one more game this month, it would be that for sure, because I just can't get enough of that stuff. So that's kind of my bread and butter outside of what used to be first-person shooters. One thing I've noticed about the PlayStation 5 is it just doesn't really have a game that's like the go-to for competitive FPS, if that makes sense. Like Xbox, you think of Halo? Not necessarily nowadays, but I just feel like there's something sorely missing on the console, and especially now that Sony's acquired Bungie, I just feel like it's time for a fix on that, because Call of Duty just isn't doing it for me right now, at least, and I need something for that. So just a quick point there, but as far as that Series I started goes, I'm not really married to anything at this point in my YouTube career, heavy quotation marks. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have an urge to go back to it, maybe not, but either way, I'm definitely going to keep posting videos now in some form. So just stay tuned. I'll be returning to more casual content for the time being, I'm pretty sure. If you enjoy this content, make sure to let me know, and let me know if you'd like to see anything on the channel in particular. I'm pretty flexible. I'll pretty much do whatever you say, or not, depending on if it sucks or not, but I guess that's to be seen. Wanted to thank you all for watching, and enjoy your breakfast, enjoy tonight's sleep, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. And our second winner of comment of the video goes to the only comment on my last video. Shoutouts to Stephen Kamation, hope I'm pronouncing that right, 5119, who commented the insightful Bucks. Thank you, Stephen.